News, Black JM, with the news. Joe Spencer, second from left, lawyer of defendant Patrick Crusius, with his team as they arrived at the federal court in El Paso, Texas, Wednesday. The gunman who killed 23 people at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas, will face the families of his victims during his federal sentencing hearing on Wednesday, as prosecutors seek to have him serve dozens of consecutive life sentences for the August 2019 shooting. Patrick Crusius, 24, pleaded guilty in February to 90 charges, half of them federal crime, that was hated crimes against the people. The massacre was one of the deadliest attacks on Latinos in modern U.S. history, which authorities said he carried out with the sole intent of killing immigrants and Mexicans in the West Texas border city. At least 28 others were injured. People pray and pay their respects at the makeshift memorial for victims of the shooting that left a total of 22 people dead at the Cielo Vista Mall Walmart, background, in El Paso, Texas, on August 6, 2019. Suspect in Texas Walmart massacre that left 23 dead in El Paso, pleads guilty to 90 federal charges. The sentencing hearing began Wednesday morning at the U.S. courthouse in El Paso and could last several days, according to court records. The hearing began with a discussion of the pre-sentence report and an opportunity for the defense and gunman to address the court. The hearing started at 9 a.m. with pre-sentencing matters in the packed courthouse. Most seats were taken by the families of the victims. When Crusius entered the courtroom, handcuffed and wearing a blue jumpsuit, the mood in the gallery changed and emotions became palpable. Crusius later answered, "No, sir," when asked by the judge if he would like to make a statement. Victim impact statements, in which the survivors and loved ones of those killed will testify about the shooting's lasting fallout, are to begin at 1 p.m. and anticipated to last about 2 days. It will be the first time the relatives will address Crusius in court, nearly 4 years after his hate-filled rampage. Joe Spencer, second from left, lawyer of defendant Patrick Crusius, with his team as they arrived at the federal court in El Paso, Texas, Wednesday. Emotions ran high even before the hearing, with Paul Jamrosky, the father of victim Jordan Anchondo, telling reporters, "There's nothing to tell a person like that," referring to Crusius. "What's done is done," he said, adding that the matter is in God's hands. Jordan Anchondo, who was 24, and her husband Andre Anchondo, who was 23, died while shielding their 2-month-old son, Paul, from the gunfire. "It's very, very hard," Jamrosky said. "I mean, you sit there and you think, man, if you didn't do what you did, I'd have my child to hug and hold right now. The lives lost that day will never be brought back," Jamrosky said. "So how is that justice? And who's to say what justice is?" Jamrosky said he has custody of Paul, who is now 4, along with Paul's older sister, Skylin, who will soon turn 9. Jordan and Andre Anchondo also had another young child. "He's too young to understand," Jamrosky said. The sentencing would take place the morning after victim impact statements are completed, or on the Monday following if they conclude on a Friday, per court filings. The charges include 23 counts of hate crimes resulting in death, 23 counts of use of a firearm to commit murder during and in relation to a crime of violence, 22 counts of insane crimes involving attempt to kill, and 22 plus counts of use of a firearm during and in relation to a crime of violence. The shooter initially pleaded not guilty but changed his plea in February after hearing that the federal prosecutors indicated they would not seek the death penalty. Instead, he will likely be sentenced to 90-plus consecutive life sentences according to his plea agreement with the U.S. law and the Office for the Western District of Texas. The gunman could still receive the death penalty if convicted on state charges. Before he attacked on August 3, 2019, Crusius left his home in Allen, Texas, a Dallas suburb, and drive for about 10 to 11 hours to El Paso, taking with him a GPWASR-10 semi-automatic rifle and ammunition he'd purchased online weeks earlier, according to the indictment that held against him. Shortly before the shooting, Cruz posted to an online message board a racist 2,300-word manifesto in which he espoused anti-immigrant views, opposed race mixing, and wrote the attack was a response to the Hispanic invasion of Texas. "They are the instigators, not me," he wrote, per the indictment. "I am simply defending my country from cultural and ethnic replacement brought on by the invasion." Then he opened fire on shoppers at the Walmart Supercenter, a location the U.S. Justice Department said he admitted to choosing in an effort to dissuade Mexican and Hispanic immigrants from migrating to the United States. At least 8 of those killed were Mexican nationals. In pleading guilty, Cruz admitted he killed and wounded people at the Walmart because of the actual and perceived Hispanic national origin of the people he expected to be at the Walmart, DOJ said in a news release after his plea. Law enforcement worked the scene of a shooting at a shopping mall in El Paso, Texas, on Saturday, August 3, 2019. Cruz still faces charges from state prosecutors who have said they plan to seek the death penalty. He has pleaded not guilty to a state capital murder charge, but a trial has yet to be scheduled. In January, El Paso District Attorney Bill Hicks said a trial date will not be set until after sentencing in the federal case, Ariel Brooks reported. The state trial could start in 2024 or 2025. But the schedule will be up to the district court judge, Hicks added. Thanks for watching. I'm Ariel Brooks, for News, Black JM.